Hey everybody, I am Elisha Christopher. Thanks for tuning in. It is another beautiful day in the garden, and let's begin as always by just taking a simple breath together. So if you will, breathe in and let go. And so today I want to talk about looking for beauty. I really believe that, especially now, in times where there is so much fear and there is so much that can allow our hearts and minds to become overwhelmed if we pay too much attention to it, I think that it's really important for us, for our mental well-being, our emotional well-being, and really for our general outlook on the world, to take time every single day and look for the beauty around us. And perhaps that beauty's in your own home, in the way that you decorate your space or the art that you have around. Or perhaps that beauty is something that you find outside. For me, I know that the way that I look for beauty every day is really most truly in my garden. And, my jasmine flowers right now are just blossoming like crazy, and there is this overwhelming wafting scent of jasmine that is kind of fills the air here, and my kale plants are going crazy, and there's lots of little mushrooms growing on logs and in little corners of the yard. And every single day I wake up in the morning, and one of my favorite things to do is to step out into the garden and look at what new thing, what new life, what's shown up today that wasn't there yesterday. And sometimes it's simply that a rose has opened a little bit, or that a branch has grown a little bit more on a lemon tree, or the jasmines have opened up a bit more, the kale plants have gotten a bit taller. And whenever I go out and I see these little miracles that are just happening in the garden around me, I'm oftentimes brought into a sense of awe, into a sense of wonder at just the magic of life. And that, to me, is activating beauty. And when we activate beauty, it activates a sense of awe. And when we activate awe, it brings us to a sense of communion with life, with the Creator, with the energy around us, with the earth. And I think nature is one of the most easy access points to beauty for most anyone. Whether it be a sunset or a drive near the ocean or a walk in a forest or just time sitting in your own garden, there is absolute miracles to be perceived and wild spectacles of beauty waiting to be found everywhere, should we be willing to look for it. And when we do, we start to activate something in ourselves. When you look for something, you tend to be able to see it more. It's like what you look for, you're gonna find. And if we are looking for beauty, if we're looking for the miracles, if we're looking for the joy and the wonder and the magic of life, I guarantee you that it's going to begin to reveal itself. And I think that it's incredibly important for us right now to have practices of engaging with life where we're looking for the beauty, where we're looking for the magic, because there is so much information that wants to come to us from the media and from other people and from these events that are happening around us and the politics that are forming in our country. There is so much coming at us all the time that can make us feel that the world is scary and that the world is ugly and it's overwhelming and terrible, and in a lot of ways it is. But we have to combat that energy by creating something else, by looking for beauty, by looking for awe, by looking for magic, by looking for wonder. And when we do, we start to awaken something in our own mind that begins to see that thing more often, that we begin to see it even when we're not looking for it, because the practice of looking primes the mind to prepare us to see that thing. Oftentimes, I don't know if you've ever had, you're looking for something and you can't see it, and a friend of mine a few number of years ago bought a car of a particular color that I thought was a little unusual, and I felt like, I haven't really seen that color before. And then once that was in my awareness that, this is a color of a car, that suddenly driving around, everywhere I went, I started seeing cars of that color. And of course it wasn't like cars of that color just randomly showed up in the world. No, I suddenly became aware of cars of that color, and now, because my perception was looking for it, I started noticing them. And so we want to do that same sort of thing with our own self in the practice of looking for beauty, in the practice of looking for magic, of the interconnection, of the wonder of life. And I encourage you to go outside and look at a tree or a sunset or anything that's available to you that inspires you to feel that sense of awe that comes with looking at something beautiful. And in that sense of awe, there's much more that begins to awaken in us. And again, if we look for it, we are going to see it. And the more we look for it and the more we see it, we create a feedback loop in our mind that then expects beauty, that expects life to be magical. And even in some of the darkest times around us, we can still recognize that there's beauty in the world and that there is magic available to us. And it's important for us to continuously remember to look, because if we look, it's there. So go look for beauty today. Remind yourself that there is magic, that there is wonder, that there is awe-inspiring miracles happening in the world every single day. So go find one. If you're enjoying what you're hearing, I'd love it if you would subscribe to my channel or share one of my videos with a friend, someone who you think might be able to hear it. Thanks again, and I'll see you tomorrow.